Biggest preparedness threat today might not be a cyber attack, an EMP, or a grid smashing terror attack. It might be a perfectly crafted, AI engineered alter reality, a lie, a fact, a figure, a state of being that looks and feels so real and is anything but real. It's a fake reality, fake facts that are orchestrated to play you like a puppet, to control your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It's the ultimate form of control. It's the matrix without the matrix, and it's coming for you. Do you want to be ready? If so, you're going to want to watch this video. Now, today's topic is about how AI is influencing your mind without you even realizing it, and what you can do about it as a critical prep that we all need to be paying attention to, that we all need to be looking at nowadays. That's because if you've made it this far down the road of, hey, I'm to the point where I'm listening to the Mind for Survival show, then you're somewhere on the spectrum, the preparedness spectrum. You're somewhere between the 7 days of food and water is good enough crowd to the all-in, I want a self-contained bunker capable of surviving a magnetic pole shift for decades on its own prepper types. As such, you have a working grasp of my survival pyramid. You're doing your best to protect you and your loved ones. You've got food stocked up. You're conscious about water and security. You're doing all the good stuff that you need to around your house, making plans, and all that's fantastic. Now, let me ask you, though, is any of what you're doing, the food, the water, and all of that, preparing you for the silent AI bomb that's about to hit? An AI bomb that few people are talking about, and even those that are, not many are talking about the most basic prep that we all need to think about to deal with it. That's because AI and its impact on each of us is a ticking AI bomb that's like an A bomb, but worse. It's an AI bomb waiting to blow up our lives and society as we know them. And it's going to do it by getting us to believe in facts and a reality that aren't true and aren't accurate. AI is going to fine-tune algorithms on the fly faster than our human brains are made to handle, all for the purpose of controlling our decision-making process, whether that's how you think, how you act, how you vote, what you buy, when you buy it, what food you eat, all that. And if we're not careful, AI is going to get a hold of us and slowly create an altered reality around us, and it'll be one that we will want to wrap ourselves in, prop up, and defend because AI has led us down that path. That's why this episode is so important, because if all of us don't work to defend ourselves against what's coming with AI, we'll lose not only our freedoms, but ourselves and what makes us us. That's not what I signed on for, and it's not the world we should leave for the future generations. So I'm going to break all of this AI time bomb down so that you can start working on your defense to fight against what is coming. All right, first, let's talk about some of the ways that AI is controlling you without you noticing it. Number one, emotional manipulation is profitable. And before AI, marketers spent entire careers huddling together in little business development rooms, marketing meeting rooms, trying to figure out how to influence your behavior, the buyer's behavior, the decision maker behavior. The same holds true for corporate media, political parties, state actors, again, anybody who wants to manipulate anyone else. And they did a pretty good job of that too. People made entire careers on that. Now, though, with the implementation of AI, people, media outlets, governments, and others, they all have access to the equivalent of a team of Nobel Prize-winning strategists making split-second decisions to influence your behavior. It's like a whole team of them just sitting in a room waiting, hey, what do we have to do to rev this person up, take this person on this emotional journey, get this response out of them? Nowadays, AI can pinpoint what triggers you emotionally and serve it up to you through social media, through search, and everything else online, through your phone, your portal into the matrix. They can serve it up to you and keep you engaged. Why? Because anxious, angry, or activated people stay online longer, doom scrolling, making purchases, and interacting with posts. That means more engagement and ad revenue for the social media companies and more manipulation of you. Businesses, governments, and individuals will use AI not just to predict behavior, but to provoke it. And not just to provoke it once, but again and again and again until it becomes who you are. Think about how beliefs already form over years of exposure to biased media or groupthink. Now, multiply that evolution of beliefs by the precision of AI. Imagine it learning how to tweak your emotions gradually, just enough to nudge you toward or away from a political candidate, making a big purchase, a policy decision, whatever it is, pushing you in a direction that you may not have otherwise gone. Not in one video or one post, but over a year, over 3 years, walking you down the path. By the time it's election season, purchasing season, whatever that season is, you feel so strongly about someone or something, but you really can't explain why. Or the why, when you do explain it, all looks back and it's like, I don't know if that was real. That's the difference. This isn't a campaign ad that they're hitting you with when this AI really gets cranked up. It's an emotional conditioning program with you as the unaware participant, with your family members as an unaware participants. Number 2, the deep fake reality and the rise of fake video and influencers. And currently, most videos posted on social media, the internet, YouTube, and elsewhere are created by humans. Soon, though, you'll be fed videos that look 100% real and are created and fed to you by AI-controlled bots. It will all be fake. Think about this. At some point, the movie industry will probably deliver movies to you featuring AI-generated actors with plots tailored to your specific viewing preferences. AI-designed videos will be created to get you emotionally fired up or sucked into something for a purpose. And those videos will be 100% fake, 100% AI computer created, and you will not know the difference. The bots and videos will be designed to emotionally activate you. Ads, politics, fake AI influencers with millions of followers, and so on. AI will be used to emotionally activate you for any reason that someone else would want to influence you. Number 3, engineered reality and psychological manipulation. Your risk profile, meaning an objective, metrics-based understanding of where your risk lies. I have a whole chapter in my book on it. If you want to get my book, Mind for Survival, I highly recommend you go checking that out. I believe it's chapter 7, tells you how to manage your risk profile. But your risk profile moving forward in time from here on forward includes the increased likelihood of being unknowingly influenced on an emotional level by AI-created content designed to manipulate you much more than they're currently capable of. This thing, we're in the infant stages of this stuff, right? Anytime you're online, you have to assume the possibility that you're being influenced by something fake, something engineered. Right now, it's the algorithm you don't see that's serving up a lot of videos, some AI videos, but a lot of videos that humans have created. Soon, it will be serving up videos for you to scroll through that AI created. And if you're being influenced by something fake and engineered and you're acting on it, you're most likely making decisions based on false premises. Emotional decision making, especially when driven by unnoticed manipulation, can reduce or even override your rational thought. You're the puppet, and the AI algorithm is the puppet master. And when that happens, we set ourselves up for choices that aren't based solely in reality. And the more we base our information gathering in fantasy land, even if we don't know it's fantasy land, the place where we're fed content that plays into our biases and aligns with the values and goals of the manipulators before it aligns with the values and goals of those being manipulated. As that happens, we blind ourselves to the reality of our world and the events many of us try to keep informed about. And when reality finally does show up, because you've been submerged in alter reality, you may not believe what is true, what is fact. That's why your ability to anchor yourself now in accurate, verifiable information isn't a luxury item anymore. It's a survival skill, especially moving into a world dominated by an AI-generated alter reality. 4, let's talk about the sympathetic nervous system and compromised decision-making, because when you're in a fight, flight, or freeze state, your body is in some level of survival mode. Your rational brain starts taking a back seat, and this is the same nervous system response I discussed in my situational awareness training. Only now, it's being triggered by an algorithm, and unlike a physical threat that you can often see, hear, or smell coming. This one is invisible. It comes through your screen. It happens when you pick up your phone. It's disguised as information, as entertainment, or a social media post that sets you off just enough to keep you scrolling for one reason or the other. That sympathetic nervous system that starts picking up is great for escaping danger, but it's terrible for decision making, especially when it prompts us to base our decisions not in fact, but in propagandist fiction. That's what we're getting through social media. And that's the trap. If you don't recognize it in time, if you don't work to get ahead of it now, and how you approach what you see on the internet, you'll be making real world decisions from an emotionally engineered false reality. And does that sound good to you? I mean, that's what they want. They want to feed you this information to get you to bite, to get you to not question what it is, to get you to believe it's true, so then they could get you to do what they want. This is the biggest prep. AI, prepping your mind to deal with the onslaught of AI is the biggest prep. Now, number 5 is situational awareness of your mood. How do we handle some of this AI? You must begin to monitor not just your surroundings, but your internal state. Ask yourself, look inward and go, am I being activated right now? When you find yourself getting sucked into a sympathetic nervous system response, getting agitated, feeling impulsive, and that kind of stuff, the right move is to pull yourself out. Being emotionally activated doesn't make you more prepared. It makes you more vulnerable. You're easier to manipulate, more likely to spin out, and less capable of making the sound decisions that you would otherwise make. I mean, think about it when you look out at like emergencies that you see videos of online. What do you notice? They're not freaking out. They're usually getting the job done. If they were freaking out, they wouldn't be getting the job done. If they were getting emotionally activated and letting themselves get sucked into parts of it, they wouldn't do as an effective job. So we need to monitor ourselves. We as humans need to monitor ourselves and ask ourselves, is my response appropriate for the situation? As more AI comes online, that's going to be bigger and more critical. Do I let a situation that I can't control cause me to be emotionally fired up, or do I keep calm so that I can make the best decisions possible or be the best resource possible? That's why we have to work at not letting this AI get us to suck us in, because it's going to be hitting us more and more, and we have to make sure that we are keeping a level head so that those around us can depend on us. That's why we do this preparedness stuff. And as preparedness-minded people, we need to work on that, managing our emotions when it's difficult to. That means when facing AI too. As prepper types, you have the ability to slowly influence those around you, to help them get on board with steering themselves against this AI onslaught that's heading our way. You can have little conversations or drop little nuggets to them when you see them, like, hey, I wonder if that thing that you just got fired up is AI or is it real? What do you think? But you have to put the effort in now. It's not always easy in today's anxiety-driven media world. And the bottom line is that AI and an increasingly less human-centric world is dawning. And especially as people who prepare, we need to get ahead of that by making sure that we grab a hold of our humanity and make sure that we are not being triggered by Skynet and everything else that's out there. So let's talk about 4 ways to stop AI from controlling your thoughts as we move forward into this AI-dominated world. Because if AI is learning to hijack how you think and how you feel, and it is, you need to take back control, or when you catch it, you need to put a stop to it. And this is how you start doing it. This segment breaks down the mindset that will help you hold the line, especially as things get more distorted, manipulated, and less real. It's not theory, it's not fluff. These 4 tips are the operating system check that every prepper needs to run before AI establishes an even bigger beachhead in your head and in society. Now, tip number 1, real world connection is our armor. So put down your phone, what I also refer to as the entrance to the matrix right here. Talk to someone. Say hi in the gym, smile at someone in the store, strike up a conversation with a stranger, give somebody a compliment. Be the person who creates a crack in the armor of the isolation and distrust of an increasingly AI-driven world. We crack AI by increasing human connection. We have to do that. That's the counter to this, because many in technologically advanced countries have lost or are losing their connection to other humans. They're wrapping themselves in social media. They're losing less real person interaction, and it's the human connection which we need to use against AI. And that connection is reestablished not through sweeping movements, but through small, consistent human interactions. Now, real world presence is your best defense against fake digital manipulation. And the more you engage offline, the more grounded you stay, and the harder it is for synthetic, meaning AI generated content, to hijack your perspective. Talk to real people. Spend time offline. Have face-to-face conversations that can calibrate your emotional state in a way that social media never can, right? You got keyboard warriors going at it. You have bots. They say in Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, up to 65% of the counts may be bots designed just to get you fired up or just to get you to interact with it. Tip number 2 on this is call balls and strikes. And as you're testing your beliefs, make sure you're calling balls and strikes honestly. If something's wrong for one side, one person, one entity, it's wrong for the other. It comes from values. If it trips over your values line, it doesn't matter who's doing it. Double standards are a shortcut to tribal thinking, and tribal thinking makes it easier to manipulate people. Calling balls and strikes means you look at each situation based on your core values and not based on who is at bat or who is pitching. Balls and strikes means resisting the urge to excuse something just because it comes from someone you like, or to blindly attack someone because it comes from someone you don't like. Once you start judging actions based on the team jersey instead of the action itself, you're playing right into the algorithm's hands. AI doesn't care about what political side you favor or what your likes and dislikes are, other than how it can use that as a hot button issue to influence how you act, to influence what you think. It cares about predictability. And tribal loyalty, especially when it's emotionally driven, is easy to predict and can be even easier to steer. Tip number 3 is pressure testing your beliefs and perspective. Don't just hang around people who agree with you for the sake of hanging around people who agree with you. Trust people who think clearly, not what they think, but who think clearly, and challenge your beliefs in productive ways. Ask a trusted friend to play devil's advocate on an issue you're confident about. Can they poke holes in your position with facts and new and different perspectives to consider? Maybe it's not something that totally alters your position, but maybe just a little bit. You refine it a little bit. Schedule regular conversations with people who are outside of your confirmation bias bubble, those who think differently, but communicate respectfully with one another regardless of what your perspective, your beliefs are, because they value you as a person, you value them as a person, you value their thoughts even if you don't agree with them, because you know they've worked at coming to those conclusions. Now, we've talked about this before, but when you're emotionally stirred up about something you read or see, recognize it. Try to recognize it. Once you do, then do a check-in with someone who's less reactive. Ask how they see it. Go to one of those trusted sources. Talk it through with the goal of being less activated or fired up or emotionally sucked in by the end of it. You're trying to pull yourself out, reduce the emotion that's coming out of you, reduce the emotion that's coming out of your lizard brain, and try to inject some of that prefrontal cortex rational brain thinking. Using others to test your beliefs isn't weakness. It's your mental version of checking your six, doing your due diligence. If false information gets past you, you have to test the beliefs that comes out the other side. So how do you know if information's false? Because you don't always know when you're putting it in. And if it's false when you put it in, you know it's false. So you, being a good prepper and being a good critical thinker, aren't going to use it. So what do? We have to pressure test the beliefs that come out the other side so we find out if some of that belief is based upon false information, right? You've got to put that belief to the test. Try it out, get some feedback, ask other people about it. And I'm not saying ask people that are your yes people. I'm saying ask those people who you trust, who think critically, who might challenge you, who might make you question, so you might get a little bit irritated. That's not an attack, but ask questions that make you go deeper. This is cognitive level situational awareness. It's not just scanning your environment, looking around for the bad guy. It's about scanning your beliefs, watching your thoughts, testing your mental operating system just like you would test your gear. Just because something fits your worldview now doesn't mean it's true. Run your beliefs through the gauntlet of people, resources, and questions that challenge them, and you will only get better. Now, tip number 4 is distinguish the possible from the probable. Like was said by the guest on the Glenn Beck show recently that I watched, is we get seduced by what AI could do, but we must stay alert to what it's likely to do. And that means staying grounded in the here and now. It's easy to be distracted by the hype, but most of the impact we'll feel won't come from future sci-fi scenarios. It'll come from the everyday manipulation we don't see happening. It's actually going on, but we're not seeing it because AI is so subtle. It can really just pick at little points that gradually over time add up to big AI gains. And what's likely is that AI will continue to be used to shape what we believe, how we feel, and what we do without us even noticing. That's why practicing these 4 tips of awareness of your internal state and how you handle the information and how you interact with that information and that how you do that on a daily basis isn't optional. It's essential moving forward into this new landscape. This is the AI bomb that is coming down the road and people are not ready for it. Now, to wrap this all up, you don't need to disconnect from technology. AI is a thing, it's a tool, it's great, but you do need to guard your emotional state like your life depends on it, because in a crisis, it just might. And AI's coming. It's not backing off. We need to start thinking about it. So with that, everybody, that's a wrap of this episode of The Mind for Survival. We've covered a lot: AI-generated reality, emotional manipulation, the erosion of decision-making, and what you can actually do about it. If you take one thing away from today's show, let it be this: your mindset is your strongest line of defense in an increasingly AI-shaped world. Not your gear, not your internet connection, your perspective. And it's becoming more important than ever. It's your humanity and what will set yourself up and what will be your battle line against AI as it gets more and more control over our lives. So check in with yourself, recognize when you're being emotionally steered, pressure test your beliefs, and don't do it alone. Talk to real people who challenge you in a good way. Ground yourself in truth, not just in what feels right. Call balls and strikes. If it's wrong for side A, it's wrong for sides B, C, D, and so on. Now, if you liked what I discussed here and you don't already own my book, Mind for Survival, you're definitely going to like it and you're definitely going to want to get it. It's a 5-star rating with excellent reviews. It's not your typical prepper book, and it's the book that can unite all other preparedness books and preparedness info. So head over to Amazon and get your copy today. And for those of you who have left me such amazing reviews, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. With that, as always, stay safe, secure, and prepared. And never forget, you are just one prep away from being better prepared. Bye for now.